Good morning or afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're coming from. Thank you for joining us for the American-Made Solar Prize Round 2 winner announcement. We're going to wait just about 2 minutes to give everyone a chance to get online before we start, so please sit tight and we will start momentarily. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Real quick housekeeping item, if you're having any technical issues, please submit a comment to the questions box and our technical team will do our best to help you. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Debbie Brote-Giles, who's our host for today.
Hi, thank you, Harrison, and thank you everybody for joining. Welcome everyone to the Solar Prize Round 2 Go Demo Day. I'll be your host today. I'm Debbie Brote-Giles with the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, and I'm on the Solar Prize team. So I just want to thank everybody for joining us. This is a very exciting time. We're going to be announcing our Round 2 winners, and we are coming to you live from across the United States, and we are joined by all of our Round 2 finalists. For this really big moment. So thank you for joining, everybody. We have several guests from the U.S. Department of Energy with us today. So first, you're going to be hearing from Daniel R. Simmons. He's the Assistant Secretary of Energy at DOE's Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. And he will talk a little bit about the state of the solar industry. And then we will welcome Dr. Becca Jones-Albertas. She's the Director of the Solar Energy Technologies Office at DOE. And then after that, we'll share just a short video from some of our Solar Prize supporters, and it will show off some of the great work that some of our finalists have been working on. And then finally, the big event. So we will turn it back over to Assistant Secretary Simmons, where he will make the big announcement for the 2 winning teams. So with that, I would now like to introduce our first guest speaker, Assistant Secretary Daniel Simmons. Thanks for joining, Daniel.
Well, thank you very much, Debbie. It is great to be here today, even if here is my bedroom. We live in an interesting world, and I am so grateful for technology to allow us to do this in a way that is, for all of us to connect, to be able to use, use this technology for to continue to do our work, even though we are in some very interesting and eventful times, unfortunately. So this is an exciting day for the Department of Energy. The American-Made Challenge Prize model is one of our important initiatives. This challenge incentivizes the nation's entrepreneurs and strengthens our job is to strengthen American leadership in energy innovation and domestic manufacturing. Prizes like this are designed to help industry overcome barriers that they face to manufacturing at scale. And we also, and I think that this is one of the most important things that we are trying to do here, and that is to help connect entrepreneurs to the private sector and to the Department of Energy's network of national laboratories and the incredible expertise that there is in the national laboratories. This is, one of the department's, one of the administration's top priorities is to improve domestic manufacturing. I mean, obviously, improving domestic manufacturing is very important in the area of solar energy, just in particular where the United States has lost a lot of the solar manufacturing. And so what can we do to improve that into the future? And that's one of the things that we have thought about a lot. And it's one of the reasons that we've been having these prize competitions. Through the Solar Prize and other American-made challenges, we are working to improve, hopefully improve America's manufacturing, and especially around solar, by tapping into our competitive spirit and invigorating American innovation in the solar area. Prizes are an important part of the work that we do here at the Department of Energy, and across, and especially my office, the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. We try to help disrupt traditional thinking, expand on what's possible by fostering collaboration and by getting new perspectives. Prizes get money to innovators quickly when they achieve milestones, and they're really just a different funding model than what we generally do at the Department of Energy. So this is all a good thing. Prizes help it helps us to reach new stakeholders and new performers, new participants, to bring the maximum number of people to bear on problems, and to be able to hopefully develop solutions that well, just new solutions, ones that we have not thought about before, new pathways that we haven't considered, and then be able to replicate that into areas, into new areas, and create new opportunities for innovators. One of the other things that hopefully we achieve with these prizes is by giving all of the participants new connections, those connections to the national labs, to the network, so that people can take their ideas and can make them happen like they would not be able to before. So this is one of the things of real value that we hope that people get out of the competition. We strive to make prizes a valuable to all participants. At least that's our goal. So that's what we're striving towards. We have launched more than 15 prizes in the last 2 years, and we hope to launch another 5 that are currently in the pipeline. So the round, last year, I had the opportunity and the pleasure to announce the first winners of round 1 at Solar Power International, and I can't believe that was nearly a year ago. And I want to take a moment and update you on what the round 1 winning teams have been up to since each took home $500,000 in cash and $75,000 in support vouchers. Phase 3, Photovoltaics from Portland, Oregon, won for their solution to integrate solar energy systems into factory-built homes. By incorporating solar cells into the manufacturing process, they lowered the cost per watt of their systems compared to a traditional installation. The team has about $35,000 in sales revenue. They have 6 pilots that are underway and another 10 that are in the pipeline. They are partnering with the Vermont Energy Investment Corporation to build a factory that makes zero energy manufactured homes, as in zero energy from the outside, not, we need to use energy. Energy is good. So being able to build with those solar panels integrated in the homes is fantastic. And for those zero energy manufactured homes, phase 3 is the solar supplier. So congratulations on coming this far. Next, the second round 1 winner went to Solar Inventions from Atlanta, Georgia. That team created a new solar photovoltaic cell called C3. And what makes that special is the design, where they divided it into sections to prevent hotspots, improve efficiency and safety, which makes for a more stable and reliable module. They officially launched C3 earlier this month after completing 4 test pilots. The team has 2 live installations with about 80 panels and that they're using to collect data. One of which is at the Department of Energy Sandia National Laboratory, and the other one is at a residential rooftop. They are also negotiating a 10 megawatt initial purchase of C3 panels and working to secure a licensing deal while they await for patent approval. Meanwhile, they're using their $75,000 voucher to help obtain third-party validation and certification. And they're also paying it forward. They signed up to be a connector as part of the Solar Made Network, which is a group of experts who give Solar Prize competitors technical insight, product validation, and strategic support. as they develop their innovations. And this is exactly what I was mentioning before about creating these connections, and hopefully it's some of the real value that the industry, that all of the competitors get is these sorts of connections. The fact that Solar Innovations went from being a competitor to a connector in the next round of competition is a great example of how the prize program builds and strengthens the American solar community and helps expand industry leadership. So kudos to this team. The American-made network plays an important role in the Solar Prize. The network includes national laboratories, incubators, investors, facilities, and seasoned industry mentors. The Department of Energy's National Lab work with the competitors to provide access to tools and expertise throughout the competition. Through the labs, competitors can develop, test, and validate their innovations. This is one of the most important things that I don't know about one of, this is an important thing that the national labs do. The national labs, when they validate something, it really can give people confidence to be able to invest. So this is a key area of how our national labs work in this arena. These partnerships with successful entrepreneurs is unique and is an important part of what makes these prizes successful. The partnership with the connectors helps reduce business risk, speeds the development of technology, and helps make them develop connections that are needed to bring their products to market. Since never is just a good idea good enough. Good ideas need a whole bunch more to bring them to market. The National Renewable Energy Laboratory is part of the network and is running this event today with help from our Solar Energy Office. So with that, let me turn things over to the Director of EERE's Solar Office, Dr. Becca Jones-Albertus. Becca?
Thanks, Daniel. I've had the pleasure of following the journey of our teams competing in round two from the very first announcement of the semifinalists at Solar Power International last year to watching the pitches and announcing finalists at Set Demo Day in March, and finally at yesterday's Go Demo Day. It's really been inspiring. This class of innovators has persevered through challenging circumstances. COVID-19 has certainly, navigating that has certainly showed their creativity and their skill as they find new paths forward despite these challenges. As Daniel mentioned, the American-Made Solar Prize was developed to energize American ingenuity and empower innovators to create groundbreaking technologies that advance the solar industry. With this prize structure, innovators like our 10 round two finalists are speeding the time that it takes them to turn their ideas into reality, and they've demonstrated tremendous progress over the year of the competition. The prize, as Daniel noted, gives them access to a group of support organizations that we call the American Made Network, which is a critical part of this competition. And the Solar Prize itself is a $3 million prize competition that inspires and rewards these innovators as they work to bring their ideas to market. The competition has 3 phases, and at each phase, participants progressively win larger prizes for making progress on their technology. In September 2019, Daniel mentioned a year ago, 20 semifinalist teams were announced. Each won $50,000 for their solutions to some of the solar industry's toughest challenges. In March, these 20 semifinalists participated in the first ever virtual Set Demo Day event, which went really well, and we really appreciated all of our competitors adapting to that format at that point, which was a very big change in a short time frame. The competitors submitted pitch videos and discussed their technology in Q&A sessions with a panel of judges. At the end of that demo day, we announced our 10 finalist teams who are here today. They each won $100,000 in cash prizes, $75,000 in technical support through the American Made Network, and a spot in the Go contest. Since then, these teams have been establishing pilot partners and moving their proof of concepts to prototypes, all in the hopes of winning $500,000 as one of our round 2 winners today. Last week, our team submitted 4-minute pitch videos to be used as part of Go Demo Day with our panel of expert reviewers, and they were assessed. Each technology was assessed. We discussed its viability, market potential, partnership development, and overall progress throughout the year-long round 2 timeframe. Yesterday, each team had Q&A sessions with our judges to answer the remaining questions about their innovation. And today, we get to find out which 2 teams become our final winners, each getting $500,000 in cash prizes and an additional $75,000 in technical support through the American Made Network. But before we find out who these winners are, I first want to acknowledge and thank all 10 of our finalist teams for everything they've accomplished in the past year. During a time when many businesses had to halt work and the world was navigating so many unexpected challenges, you persevered and you found truly innovative ways to keep moving your technologies forward. Really thank you all for your dedication. So impressed by the immense progress that each of you has made and can't wait to see all that comes as you continue to leave your mark on the solar industry. For our remaining finalists after today's announcement, I hope you'll continue to seek out opportunities to advance your technologies. And 2 avenues that you can explore are the Department of Energy's Small Business Innovation Research Program, as well as the Technology Commercialization Fund. If you sign up for our newsletter, you'll ensure you know when those deadlines approach and you don't miss them. So you can see the link shown there above, and you can also find that on our website. I'd also like to acknowledge our panel of expert reviewers who made Go Demo Day possible and who just did a tremendous job looking at and helping evaluate our finalists. So that's Claire McGee, Nicola Milivojevic, and Greg Wilson. Thank you for playing such a critical role in the competition as we determine today's winners. And with that, I'll hand things back to you, Debbie, to share a quick video before we find out who the round 2 winners are.
Great. Thank you so much, Becca. Thanks for those words of encouragement. And it really has been exciting to watch these teams improve their technologies every step of the way through this competition. So we're not the only ones that are proud of our round 2 teams. We have some great power connectors and connectors who have helped these teams achieve what they've done. So we have a little video that we'd like to share with you now. It'll show some of the work from some of our round 2 teams, and it has some messages from some of the key Solar Prize administrators and power connectors who have helped. So we could roll that video now. Thanks. Hello, round 2 finalists. Congratulations for making it to Go Demo Day. Good luck. Thanks for all your perseverance. This is literally go time, so good luck.
Congratulations to the round 2 finalists from all of us at Carnegie Mellon University's Wilton E. Scott Institute for Energy Innovation. We are so glad we had the opportunity to work with you as your power connector, and we wish you the very best on your journey.
Just wanted to say a huge congratulations to our round 2 finalist teams. You've made it through a tough competition in a tough year, and just being here, you are all winners in my book.
Nation of Makers would like to give a hearty congratulations to all of the round 2 American-made Solar Prize Challenge finalists. We are so proud to have served as a power connector in this challenge and to have supported you to get to this momentous occasion. We wish you all the best in turning your solar energy innovations into a reality.
Congratulations, Solar Prize teams. Making it through the Go competition is a huge accomplishment. You should all be incredibly proud of the work that you've done. We've been excited to see the progress you've made over the past year and look forward to seeing how you impact the U.S. solar industry.
Great. Thanks for rolling that, Harrison. So as you guys can see, we are really impressed with the hard work that these teams have done over the course of this prize competition. And now it really is the moment that we've all been waiting for. We're going to be announcing the winners of the round 2 Solar Prize Go Demo Day. I'd like to invite Assistant Secretary Daniel Simmons back, and he can make the announcement. Just so you guys know, as the teams, if you do win, we would like you to get on video and talk with Daniel. So please be ready to turn on your webcam and your audio. So hopefully we could see your excited faces and have you interact a little bit with Daniel. So Daniel, over to you.
All right, thank you, Debbie. The we are to the phase 2 winners, and I have to make sure that I am at the right place in my in my notes here. All right, the first winner is Resilient Power Systems from Georgetown, Texas. This team developed a hybrid inverter. I definitely had to make sure, I'd look down and make sure if Resilient Power Systems, if I'm reading the right part. So I am reading the right part, I got it right. This team developed a hybrid inverter that enables interconnection between solar, storage, and other energy systems using a novel wide bandgap technology platform. This power router enables direct connection of these resources to the medium voltage distribution grid, integrating transformers and inverters into a single unit. So congratulations, Resilient Power Systems. Thanks, Tom. I'm glad that you're joining us because I just have a few questions. What is it? So I understood all of the words that I just read, but give me another explanation of what is this? What is hybrid about it? Why does it need to be wide bandgap? Tell us a little bit more of the value. Oh, and you're muted. But I don't think Josh is. Oh, okay. Still muted, but I think we just heard you, Josh. Tom is muted, Josh is not.
Yeah, well, the Resilient Power Router integrates multiple forms of energy together to save on installation costs, engineering costs, which we've seen from prior Department of Energy research that the soft costs and balance of system costs are really significant as we've been so successful reducing the cost of solar cells. So by integrating multiple forms of energy into a single container, we can reduce interconnection costs as well by co-locating either hydrogen fuel cells or thermal energy storage or battery storage. And Tom, the mute is over on the right of GoToMeeting. Sorry. Thanks so much, Daniel.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. We got you, Tom.
All right. I've re-hit the button. It was saying I was green. So I really thank you a whole lot for this opportunity and thank NREL for it. It's a great competition. As I told the team yesterday, we won anyway. This was really exactly what we needed to do. We needed to be able to push ourselves with the great competition that we had to raise the bar so that we could get better finding these pilots, and we were ready for it. So that was great. Our power router is really just much like a data router. We can take all kinds of different types of power that is generated from different sources and going to different loads. And we basically operate as a hub to where we move it from one place to the other without it having to be jacked up or without all the other games that makes it really complicated within systems to change direction of power today.
And where would it be, where would it be installed? Where do you envision that? So I have if I have solar on my house and I have and I have a battery system, is it installed out on the
Yes.
So
yes,
out on the
outside. We made it deliberately as an outside. It actually looks like a small distribution transformer.
Yep.
And so we basically made it that way so that we basically didn't have to, that's part of the soft cost. We don't have to have HVAC. We don't have to have all the other things that you need to support a system. And solar, we want it to be hooked up to solar. And but we can merge. It's really a microgrid option that people really have now, that instead of taking multiple components and multiple things and putting them together to make a system, which costs a lot of design, a lot of components, we are focused on trying to be a centralized system that can do all one inside, and it does it more efficiently too, which is great.
Well, it is great, and I mean, it's great from my perspective as the Assistant Secretary of the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. It's obviously renewable power, but our Building Technology Office is also one of the offices that I work with. And just thinking about how we are integrating. I mean, the future of energy, there's so many opportunities out there right now. How are we integrating all this energy together? How, like, for buildings to do a better job of responding to loads, and like this is you know, and thinking about storage and local storage. So this is, anyway, I'm pretty excited about it. I, you know, wish you all the best. So
Westinghouse and the fellows there at GE Edison would really enjoy us because we're AC/DC. We're not prejudiced about either one. We take it in either way, and so we see great opportunities both ways now. Really, we can optimize power flow throughout the grid now.
all right, well, thank you, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
To the resilient power systems team, and now we'll announce the second winner. Let's see, making sure that I have it again at the right place in my notes. The second winner is Sunflex Solar from Tempe, Arizona. This team is replacing the copper back sheets on a standard back contacted silicon solar cell with aluminum, which costs less. And they will use a high-speed laser to weld the aluminum backsheet to the silicon wafer. So good job, Sunflex. I know that you learned a lot during this process, and we have a couple of the team members, Kate and Zachary, that have just joined us. And I guess my first question for you is, what's the most interesting thing that you learned through this process? There we go. We have sound. So. Oh, Zach is muted. Oh, no. So until we get Zach's working, what do you have to say?
The most interesting thing we learned through this process is probably how to, well, that a competition like this can spur you to do the work that you maybe were putting on the back burner in terms of talking to customers and potential partners. And we spent most of the set phase really aligning people that we needed to, or companies that we needed to bring together to make our modules scale up to the 67 module phase, and of course the agreement we have with our partner module manufacturer, which was really exciting.
Okay, excellent. That's a very good point. Yeah, a good idea is never good enough. Like merely having an idea, being able to operationalize that, and that's a good reminder.
Exactly. And as scientists, we tend to want to be in the lab and do our play with the toys and stuff, and it's you need to get out and talk about the ideas to other people and communicate.
Yeah, exactly. And Zachary,
should be able to hear me now.
Victory. Excellent.
I think there were lots of surprising and interesting things we had. I think one of the most fun and surprising parts is having a hypothesis about who your customer is, what they care about, why, what the value proposition is, and finding out that you're wrong, and then finding somebody else who cares for a different reason. I think that's something that's very common to most startups, and Sunflex experienced in this process.
Well, that's a great point. The aluminum. Let's start with aluminum. Did you go from aluminum? Like, how did you get to aluminum versus copper?
So the main feedback. So this module architecture essentially exists already for metal wrap-through cells, and one of the cost savings that people have been chasing for a while is how can we switch from copper to aluminum, because aluminum is much cheaper. And the innovation that we added allows us to do that with the help of the laser and the shaping of the foil. So we remove material to make it cheaper. We remove the ECA, the electrically conductive adhesive from the middle, replace it with a non-material, non-consumable process with the laser. Yeah, so it was kind of, the problem was set out at the beginning, and we just were able to demonstrate that this idea works.
Aluminum's an order of magnitude cheaper than copper.
Which is amazing, but it also tells you about the opportunity then.
Right.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much. Congratulations. We're very excited, and really hope for you to be able to find the right market. As you mentioned, like finding the people that care about, you know, just finding the right fit. So that's very exciting.
Thanks for the opportunity.
One more question that I have for you. What challenges are you tackling next? What do you see as your next challenges?
I think our next challenge is we've now signed a joint development agreement with a US module manufacturer. And our big challenge is to further scale up in size. So presently from things that are about this big to a full panel size that you would see on your roof, and to transition that process to our partner's manufacturing line.
Excellent. Kate, did you have any last words?
I guess just thank you for the opportunity, and I feel like we haven't looked excited enough about winning. It's fantastic.
We're very excited. This is fantastic.
Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And really, what it comes down to, I think all of the competitors, like this is the point. Like, yes, there are the winners that get they get the, you know, the money of the prizes at the end. But the point is, hopefully we're working on creating those connections. We want everyone to, I mean, this sounds terrible and it sounds trite, but you know, we want everyone to be winners. But really what I mean by that is we want everyone to get value out of the competition. You know, all of the participants, because, you know, as Kate mentioned, you know, sometimes we're looking at the wrong problem, or we're solving a problem that other people don't think is a problem, and we need to be solving the right problems, and being able to connect. Those connections are so critical, so that we're working on solving the right problem. So again, thank you all. Thank you to everyone. You were all great innovators. And lastly, one other thing. One of the points about prizes is that the Department of Energy recognizes that we don't have enough. We don't know everything. If you guys have thoughts for us, please let us know. Please let us know what we can do better. Let NREL know what they can do better in terms of, you know, administering the prize. Like this is important for us to make sure that we are continuing. We are iterating on what we're doing to do a better and better job. So again, thank you very much, and congratulations to Resilient Power Systems and to Sunflex, but congratulations to everyone. And with that, I will hand it back to Debbie.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much for being part of Go Demo Day and announcing our winners for us. And I'm so glad it worked to get those winners on video with us. That was great to at least hear from them today, since we can't be there in person. But really, congratulations again to the two teams, Resilient Power Systems and Sunflex Solar. We are very eager to see where you take your technologies and how you can progress them forward and get them to market. And please don't forget that we're going to interview both those winning teams. So be on the lookout for an email from our team, and we will hopefully be interviewing you very soon so we can get some more great information from you to share out with the world. I also want to remind everybody that's on the call today about round 4 of the Solar Prize. So round 4 is marking our 4th Solar Prize competition, and we are so excited about that because there's tons of new ideas that still are out there. There's still more innovators, still more people with great ideas that need to bring those ideas to market. And so we would like you to join us in the next round of the Solar Prize. Those can be new innovators. It could be people that have actually participated in past competitions as well. Please just come forward and be part of our round 4. We would love to have a lot of people participate in round 4. The Ready contest is now open for innovators to submit their ideas, and you have until October 8th, 2020 to get those submissions in. So please work on those submissions now, build your teams, get your ideas together, and we would look forward to seeing those submissions on October 8th. We will be announcing the winners of that first round, the Ready contest, in December. So I encourage everyone with a great idea to apply and try to help us move the solar industry forward. So before we wrap up Go Demo Day, I do have some thank yous I would like to say. First of all, a huge thank you goes out to the U.S. Department of Energy for funding this program and being great supporters of this prize competition. Especially thanks to Daniel Simmons and to Becca Jones-Albertus for joining us today. I really, really appreciated your words of encouragement and your thoughts and your help with announcing the winners today. So thank you so much. Another thank you goes out to our power connectors. We have power connectors that are helping our teams every step of the way, and they have just been remarkable for round two. I want to call special attention to the Nation of Makers and Carnegie Mellon University, their Wilton E. Scott Institute for Energy Innovation, both of whom were very, very instrumental in helping our teams get ready for the Go contest. So thank you so much for that. Thank you to all of the connectors and our entire network. Everything you have done to help our teams progress through the competition is very, very needed and very much appreciated. So thank you for that. And then another huge thank you to our panel of expert reviewers, Becca Jones-Albertus, Claire McGee, Nicola Milivojevic, and Greg Wilson. Thank you so much for your expertise and helping us select our round two winners. We could not have done it without you. And thank you to all of the engineers, entrepreneurs, solar enthusiasts who come to the table with these ideas in the first place. It makes our prize exciting and different and very, and your ideas are what we really need to keep these prizes going and to keep innovation going. So please keep those ideas flowing for round four. So if you weren't selected as a winner today, we definitely encourage you to keep innovating, keep moving your business forward, and keep looking for other opportunities as well. There's the American Made Challenges round 4, which is an opportunity, but there's the other opportunities that Becca talked about as well. So please keep your eye open for other opportunities, and we encourage you to apply for many opportunities to keep your ideas going forward. At 2 o'clock today Eastern Time, we will be sharing the finalist announcement very broadly in all of our social media networks. And so we would like you to join us for that. Please help us celebrate the 2 winners, help us announce and communicate that round 4 is open. And remember to use the American Solar hashtag when you are communicating about it. We would really appreciate that. And then you can also learn more about round 4 by on our website. So it's americanmadechallenges.org/solarprize. Also on americanmadechallenges.org, you will see other prize competitions for other topics and other domains. So you can find a lot more information there. Well, this wraps up round 2 Go Demo Day. And I just wanted to say thank you again for everybody who joined. Thank you for the teams. Thanks for all your hard work. And congratulations to the 2 winning teams. We will see you next time. Thanks.